Hello everyone, it's Old Guardian here. In this how to play video, I'm presenting a budget Odd Rogue after the second wave of Rastakhan nerfs. So Odd Rogue lost Cold Blood and Odd Rogue became slightly weaker, but Odd Rogue is actually still, according to statistics, the best performing rogue archetype in this game. And even a budget version of Odd Rogue can still be highly successful. Obviously, when you play a budget build, you're losing out on some of that top-end reach. You're missing out on Leroy, missing out on Myra's unstable element, missing out on some Void Rippers maybe. I updated my old build, so I looked into it and made some adjustments and tested them, and this is what I currently recommend as the budget Odd Rogue build to play until the rotation. And in a way it's a great time to play budget Odd Rogue, because you should be crafting Baku the Moon Eater anyway for your Hall of Fame. You're going to get all of that dust back, so Baku is essentially free, and this would be a very nice deck that you can take and climb ladder with. The deck's main weaknesses are Odd Paladin and Odd Warrior, kind of approaching from the opposite angles, because you can't wipe the boards, the endless boards of Odd Paladin, and you can't push through the endless armor of Odd Warrior. So those two are really bad. Other than that, there's nothing that's really stopping this deck. It's fine against hunters, it's fine against priests, it can take on the rest of the meta quite nicely. But obviously, if you happen to find yourself in a pocket that is all Odd Paladin and Odd Warrior, then Odd Rogue is not going to be playable. I did try to use Fan of Knives in this deck, because in theory Fan of Knives could try to help you counter some of that Odd Paladin power, but I found that it was rather ineffective. So I ended up cutting Fan of Knives and just going with a build that doesn't really succeed against Odd Paladin, but increases the win rate against other matchups. With Cold Blood gone, the replacement card is Crazed Chemist, which has the similar combo effect, but because Crazed Chemist is a pretty expensive combo card, so you need more cheap combo activators, I have chosen to include one copy of Myracle eventually to get one more 1-drop in this deck, because Crystallizer would be a nice one, but it's an epic, so it cannot be used in a budget build, but Myracle has been able to do the job quite well actually. In this sort of budget build, I like to rely a lot on Cobalt Scalebane, Fungalmancer for that power, to get enough power in the mid game. And that also makes it quite easy to use double Dark Reapers, because Dark Reaper is an excellent target for both the Scalebane and for the Fungalmancer. In the current meta, playing an aggressive build like this, I like to include 2 copies of Silence that will allow you to push through taunts and get to those lethals. And what you're lacking in powerful cards, sometimes Blink Fox is the solution, and the cards that Blink Fox can give you from other classes can help you get some power that you don't have because you're on a budget. Overall, it's a fairly straightforward deck. You want to use your improved dagger, your 2 damage dagger, you want to use that a lot to control the board, and that will keep your minions alive, and then your minions can deal damage. And you want to try to build boards that are difficult to remove. You play around the AoE of your opponent. There will be plenty of sample gameplay in this video, and in that gameplay you will see how I play around various board clears. As for the mulligans with this deck, you're generally looking to curve out. You really want to have some 1-drops, preferably Squire, Mole, Firefly, Myracle. I don't really count Southsea Deckhand as a 1-drop in that sense. It's not something I like to drop on 1, but if I end up having Southsea Deckhand in my hand after I try to mulligan already for something else, then yeah, sure, I sometimes do play it out on 1. For your 3-drops, you're generally looking for Henge Clantag, because you dagger up on 2, then you may or may not hit. Typically if you have a Henge Clantag you don't hit on 2, but you wait, then on 3 you play a Henge Clantag and then you hit with the dagger. And Henge Clantag is simply the most powerful 3-drop available. But depending on the matchup, the other 3-drops might also be useful. Stuff like SI7 Agent, especially when you're on the coin, if you're playing on a defensive matchup, something like against the Hunter for example. And likewise Dark Reaper, if you're playing in any kind of matchup where you're being a bit more defensive, or you need to defend some high value minions, then Dark Reaper can be a very useful card. But you wouldn't keep Dark Reaper against something like a Priest or a Warrior, where you really want that pressure. And speaking of pressure, Vicious Fledgling can be an excellent pressure tool. I generally don't keep it against Hunter, because Hunter has such an easy way to deal with it, but against something like a Priest or Warrior or these sort of matchups where I need to be pressuring them, then Vicious Fledgling is definitely also a keep. All of the 5-mana cards are generally too expensive to keep in the Mulligan. Ironbeak Owl is generally too specialized to keep in the Mulligan. Then Deadly Poison depends. If you expect that you need to remove some minions with 3 or 4 health, and you want to do that with your dagger, say you're playing a Rogue Mirror, and you expect that the opponent might play a Henge Clantug, they buff it to 4 health. If you have Deadly Poison, you have a quick answer to that with your own dagger. So overall your typical Mulligan looks like Squire, Mole, Firefly, Mekaroo for 1-drops, Henge Clantug for 3-drops, maybe SI7 Agent, Dark Reaper, and maybe Deadly Poison. Overall, Baku the Mooneater gives you just a lot of ways to play pretty cheap decks that are still able to perform at a very high level. And now for this 1 month before the rotation, there's absolutely no reason not to play with Baku decks, because you're going to get all the dust from Baku back once it rotates to Hall of Fame. If you enjoy this content, then please click the like button and subscribe to my channel for more. And now, let's go take a look at Budget Odd Rogue in action. So we'll try with this hand. Is there a Death Rattle Hunter? Well, it could be a Midrange Hunter too. That was not a kept card. Well, you wouldn't really keep tracking. I just want to get the deckhand on the board. Yeah, let's just put it on the board, it's fine. But... okay. So... what's going to happen next? Devil's Oreg, I suppose. Egg would be good here. Always Huffer. I can afford to take 8 from Huffer, right? Do I want to take 8 from Huffer? Or do I sacrifice this minion? How scared am I about my health total? Going down to 20. It looks like Midrange Hunter. I can take 8 from Huffer. 8 from Huffer is fine. Get the 4/4 out there. This one cannot be killed with a Flanking Strike. This one can, of course, so Flanking Strike still isn't terrible. But that little bit of weaker draw can suddenly become much better. Or can it? 2-5. So I probably will have to trade with the Henge Clantug. Options. Well, Coin Chemist is an option. Kill the Graysomaw, trade the deckhand into the Hyena. Keep a 5-5 and a 4-4. That's bad, to be honest. Silence is an option. I kind of like the Coin Chemist. I can kill this, but I can kill this, but I can hit face with this. And I will have a 5-5 and a 4-4. So minions that are not that easy to answer. Okay, he might find stuff like Springpaw, Timberwolf. Next turn he can use them to good effect. But next turn I will have a Dark Reaper blocking his way. Potentially. Springpaw coming down already. What is the plan with the Springpaw? No plan with the Springpaw. Okay. Let's get the Dark Reaper out there. Yeah, this is Dark Reaper turn. Dagger up, kill the Springpaw with the dagger. Push face with these minions. Put him down to 11. Have a Taunt minion up. That's a crucial piece of the puzzle. So that even if he has Rush Beasts and he has the Timberwolf, they are not so easily able to reach these minions here. And then we take the win. Let's see. Holding on to 1-drop, I think the 5-drops are a bit too expensive to keep.
None will survive.
Friend versus friend. No, sorry, I need to play the ladder now. Let's see. He kept 2 cards. He's not odd. He could be quest because he kept this, but because he's touching this card, it looks like he's going to be some kind of miracle or tempo or something. Hi, Shala. Do you coin out another one? You do not. I find that slightly interesting. Because I would have often expected, like... Oh, but he could, of course, like, coin SI7 here. Do I want my Dark Creeper out there? I don't have any ways to buff it. Alternatively, I can play another 1-drop and I can re-dagger. So then on 4, I could use Deadly Poison. I think I actually like that. But if I do Dark Creeper now, then on 4 I could still dagger Deadly Poison and Mole on that turn. It still doesn't close that option. I think not playing Dark Creeper now is a little bit more flexible though. Yeah, I'll just do this for now. That was a pretty tough turn because both avenues of play were quite potent. This one, because I already have the dagger up, this one maybe gives me a little bit more flexibility. And here I have the Deadly Poison to take away the tug. But if I had had the Dark Creeper, that would have lived through his Wicked Knife. Oh well, I suppose this is fine. Dark Creeper, Deadly Poison, kill the tug. Okay. And next turn I can play the Scalebane. He still has the coin, so he still has like coin Vilespine available. There are scary things that can be done with the coin. Another backstab. Well, backstab SI. Backstab Shadowblade. Okay. And he still gets to keep the coin. And on the Shadowblade I don't want to play a Fledgling out there. So I'll just play the Scalebane. So it will turn this one into a 4-2 as well, now that I've seen 2 backstabs. But there can be Vilespines, there can be SI7 agents. There's still a bunch of nasty things that are potential. Deckhand. Okay, so now he can get the 3/3 pirate down, right? And he has another Shadowblade in hand too. So I know that he will be able to Shadowblade. Oh no, it's a coin cold root. So he will be able to Shadowblade again next turn, and then he would be able to kill a Fledgling without taking any damage. So I don't really want my Fledgling out there yet. I will rather just play the SI7 agent. Okay, so he has 2 pirates. So there's probably some Dread Corsairs and something. Shadowblade into double Corsairs would be scary. So Shadowblades just might be the thing he needs here. So far things are looking pretty good for him. I could have hit face and re-daggered, but I felt that I wanted to have this 4 damage in order to remove stuff. That's an interesting approach. Looks like a fairly weak approach to me. So I can kill the Falderai. Do I also want to kill the 1/2? That is really the big question here. Shadowblade plus the 1/2 is 4 damage. What if he has a damage buff for the Shadowblade? What if he has a Cold Blood? But I know that his hand is Shadowblade and 2 pirates. It's the majority of his current hand. So I think this will be fine. I think this is how I want to do it. I have the deck hand available if I get a combo card for next turn. I'm expecting some Corsairs. So this one goes here. This goes here. This goes here. This goes face. Wind Fury. Wind Fury. It goes face again. And then this one goes face. And then this one comes on the board. And then that one's going to get +4 attack. And then that will be lethal. Dark Reaper against the Priest. I guess not. Thanks, Cos. I'm glad you like them.
None will survive.
I think the deck overall feels good. I mean, it doesn't feel like a bad deck. I think the balance of cards seems proper. Everything seems pretty okay. But we'll see. Trigger up. Not attacking here because I have the pair of Henge Clan Thugs waiting. Next turn is obviously going to be a Henge Clan Thug. Priest is, well, OTK, wall. So many things this Priest can be. So hard to say. Alright, start to push a little bit. So next turn there could be a Mass Hysteria. If I get a 4/4 out there, that's not very good against Mass Hysteria now, is it? What if I get a 3/3 out there? 5/5/1/1 3/3. 5/5 does not die to a Mass Hysteria. So that sounds okay. This is the level of pressure I want. Yes, this is the correct level of pressure.
Here we go.
These are going face. This is the correct level of pressure here. Mass Hysteria proof. Yep, doesn't die to Mass Hysteria, as I said. Oh, there's a Fungalmancer option. And there's also an Elixir of Hope option. I actually like the Elixir of Hope a lot, because that plays around. Yeah, I like that a lot here. What if he has some damage spells? 7, 8, 9, 11 to face. What if he gets a 5/5 Ziliax, right? Or something like that? Well, there's always very little I can do about the 5/5 Ziliax now, isn't there? Dark Reaper, there's still potential for another Mass Hysteria. I think it has to be the Elixir. I think it has to be the Elixir and push face. If there's a 5/5 Ziliax, there's a 5/5 Ziliax. You can't help that too much. But I think this puts quite significant pressure on the Priest. Shadow Word Death. Didn't see that coming. That's not a very common card nowadays. So I don't have way to push 12 here. And next turn he could Scream. If I push 5, put him down to 7. I don't have enough for next turn, right? I just don't. He can Scream and he will live. Well. But when do I get 2 minions to stick? Not in the near future, right? I think this has got to be the way. We'll try this. Mass Hysteria might clean this board up. And these two would have to fight first for Mass Hysteria. No, actually. Actually, Mass Hysteria cannot clean this up, right? Because these don't die, kill each other. Spirit Lash into Mass Hysteria does clean it up. Okay. 3, 4, 5 mana. What if he just plays Psychic Scream next? 4 damage with the deadly poison puts him down to 8. But I don't have another 4 for next turn. Not yet anyway. Well, can I top deck? I could top deck a deck hand. Another poison, SI7. So if I do dagger poison 3 mana, I think I need to try this. Dagger poison.
This guy's toast.
SI7 Squire. I think I need to try this. This puts him down to 6. And if he screams this board, I will have 5 outs from the deck to get lethal. So Grizzly has 7 health. Fungal Mancer. I don't have enough damage, right? I just don't. If he screams and heals, I think I have to try the Fungal Mancer. And I can play Blink Fox too, because I could find like silence with the Blink Fox. So we try with the Blink Fox. That's not good enough. Maybe next turn it can be. Then we go all Mushroom Power here. And I hit here. And I hit here. So I can push 5 to the face. 1 off. Devour Mind could give me... Oh no, does he have Velen into Spirit Lash? He does. He goes to 21. And I have 11. I would need another 10. I don't have another 10. If he can resurrect the Velen next turn. Can I Devour Mind? What can I find? 2 Mind Blasts. But those will take away all of my tempo. Trade into Velen. 6 to face. This fellow will need to trade into Velen. These will go face, Dagger will go face. This is the board setup that I have. If he can resurrect the Witchwood Grizzly, of course, having cards in hand doesn't help in that case. So he gets a Ciliax. Oh, it's the big board version. That one is very annoying here. He's at 14. He has 2 Radiant Elementals. I have to get rid of those. He has spent some Spirit. He might have a Spirit Lash left. If there is a Spirit Lash left, I need to Devour Mind now. I find a Mind Blast, but that's not good enough. And this one trades here. This one trades here. I'll play a Diamole. I'll play an SI7 Agent here. I can play a Deckhand. And I can kill both Radiant Elementals. And when I kill both Radiant Elementals, that means that he doesn't have the cheap spells available. Has he found any Resurrects? Well, he gets coin, of course, so he does get a bunch of Lyra stuff going. He didn't get the Maligos. There's a bunch of Lyra stuff, but Radiant Elemental was scarier than Lyra. Because Radiant Elemental with Resurrects can do anything. Well, unfortunately that was a pretty good Resurrect too. So I don't suppose I can deal with this. I'll need to play the Lich King. They can just sacrifice the Obsidian statue into the Lich King. Or he might have lethal thanks to Velen. I need the Lich King out there. I guess I need to kill the Celiacs. But I'm quite likely to die here. Lich King could give me a card that would clean up the board, but it doesn't. Now, of course, there is one minion behind the Lich King, so if he attacks with the Obsidian statue first, it doesn't necessarily kill the Lich King unless he kills the Diamol first. Another Velen, and that means that he could just have lethal here. Yep, that's just going to be lethal. I mean, he already has lethal on board. It's possible to go 12 to Legend without Rogue, yeah. You don't even need a full cost. You can do it with budget too. I climbed with budget or Rogue mainly in January. It's completely possible. Doesn't even have to be the full cost version. Let's see. All the paladins I have faced have been odd paladins, and I have not been able to beat any of those. But that has always been the thing with Rogue, of course. But you beat almost all the priests. Like, that priest was super lucky when he got the win. You beat 70% of priests anyway. So, this is an even paladin. This is my only 1-drop, so I don't have an activator for the SI7 agent now. But I still felt like I need to go on this board. Even Paladin is not as punishing of a matchup as Odd Paladin.
It's time for a little blood.
I mean, like, yeah, sure, you can play your Amani and I can kill it. I'm completely fine with this. Why did he spend a coin to get that Amani out there? I guess I will never know.
Reporting for duty.
Linkfox time.
Here we go.
Trade with the dagger, face with the minion. Next turn I can play dagger. I can also play like Repentance SI7.
Reporting for duty.
Depending on what he has here. Repentance SI7 starts to look really, really good here. Is it really the play? Because then I still need to trade. But I prevent him from playing kings. Then if he plays a corpse taker, it goes down to just 1 health. I'll still have to sacrifice a minion into it. It's still good. It's still good. Repentance SI7 it is. And we trade down the board. He wanted to force dagger swing on 2, but that was, I mean, lunacy. That didn't achieve him anything. Can't seem to climb from 12 with any of my decks. There are plenty of decks that you will be able to climb with. If only. Well, it has to be the dagger fledgling.
Here we go.
Dagger and hit. This one takes that down. I get the fledgling on the board. This one goes face. Of course he can have plenty of answers to a fledgling, like a true silver champion or something, but still seemed pretty good. That's the true silver champion. Unfortunate.
Reporting for duty.
More Fungal Mancers, A. I suppose I do want the Fungal Mancer here. Just dagger into that one. Push 5 to face. He can true silver champion down the Fungal Mancer, or he could like consecrate and true silver champion down the SI7. But we'll see. So, what's it going to be? Now of course he can do some fairly powerful things. That is not one of the fairly powerful things that I was afraid of though. Can't get the Chemist Synergy. He will be able to simply consecrate the board if I go for Fungal Mancer. Alternatives, well, I could simply trade here, deny steeds and stuff. I could do it with the SI7 agent and the deadly poison. Oh, that's actually looking very, very nice right now. Yeah, I like that. Deadly poison, SI7, hit with the deadly poison, push 5 to the face. Didn't he actually hurt himself by playing that Sihi more than he hurt me? Maybe he didn't hurt himself. Acidic Swamp Ooze. So I have 8. I have 12. 12 is not quite enough, right? I want more. 7 plus 5. Well, I have 14 actually, but I can probably push that 14. I have silence, yeah. That's the way this goes, right?
Hey, lights out.
Hit there.
Lights out.
Hit there. Dagger up and hit some more. Put him down to 2. I have silence in hand. I think I like this. I like this more than trading away something from the board. I mean, what's the best he can do? Like Tarim. And he's dead through Tarim. Or Steed. And he was dead through Steed, so I didn't care about either of those. I could have done the Squire Chemist, kill the Tarim, and then Dagger Face. This has to be an Odd Mage, right? No one is playing anything but Odd Mage. It's actually a Big Spell Mage, probably then. That will be very, very painful for me. But not much I can do about it. Just have to go in. Because I have the Deadly Poison here, I think I'm probably not attacking with the dagger immediately. He might play like Stonehill, then I play Deadly Poison. That's an option. Gluttonous Ooze. Was a bit of a surprise. I suppose it still calls for Deadly Poison here. Okay, let's see about this one. He did that play to deny Hench Clan Tag. I didn't have a Hench Clan Tag, but of course he had no way to know that. Next turn he can play Dragon's Fury. Can I ever win if he has a Dragon's Fury? Interesting question as such. Do I ever beat Dragon's Fury? I have also options like Coin Chemist. Then a 4 roll from Dragon's Fury would be enough. Dragon's Fury can always roll a 4 because of Polymorph. That's kind of why I would like the Scalebane out there. I like the Scalebane. Then I won't be able to get the Chemist next turn either. What if he just plays a reasonable sized Taunt minion? It's okay. This is going Scalebane. Dragon's Fury can whiff. Dragon's Fury doesn't necessarily kill these. So then if he doesn't have Dragon's Fury or if he whiffs with the Dragon's Fury, then I should be quite alright. He had a Polymorph. And that probably means a Fungalmancer this turn. Yeah, this plays around Meteor a little bit too. And pushes a little bit of damage to face. Obviously this is a terrible matchup, because Big Spell Mage is one of the premium decks to beat this type of aggressive decks. Okay, he can high roll a Ziliax from Stonehill, I get that. But that was still... whoa. That was something. And now if he has a Flame Strike, even the Chemist line doesn't do well against Flame Strike. I don't have anything that survives a Flame Strike, really. Time to blink for some Mage card. Kill that Ziliax, but that Ziliax... that was it removed 3 power from the board and healed for 6, so that was 9 healing. That was 9 healing from that silly X alone. And now a simple Flame Strike would clean up this board, and it's off the top. It is painful when it happens, but what can you do? So I could push 6 to face with a deck and 8 to face, put him down to 10. I'm not close to winning with that yet. What is he going to do on 8? Well, there's obviously more spells. Well, there's some really scary spells, and artificers are coming and stuff. 8 to face. It just isn't good enough now, is it? Put him down to 10. No way for lethal for next turn. Flame Strike is the only AoE spell I've seen. I think I still need to try with this. And with the Squire. Wrong positioning. Didn't play around Meteor. Well, actually I didn't have any play around Meteor anyway. Meteor and Ping would clear regardless of positioning, but yeah. It's a 10. Scorch deals 4 damage. 5. Not enough. And he has another Tar Creeper available. Do I maintain the Divine Shield? No, I don't maintain the Divine Shield. I can push 6. I can put him down to 4. I can put him down to 2. If I put him down to 2, there's a chance that I can top deck like an SI7 agent. Need to hit face. Dagger goes face. Southsea Deckhand goes face. And I'll play a Diamol. Put him down to 2. Give me a chance to potentially end this. This is the highest chance I have to end this. If he plays Jaina, he's dead. That's the big thing. I do not allow him to play Jaina. The best thing he could have would be like Blizzard into Tar Creeper. That can also go into Tar Creeper. He also got a couple of random spells. Who's running Blast Wave in Big Spell Mage? Never seen that before. I think that's a pretty poor choice. But there's my SI7 agent. So my setup worked. And I take the game. I want something else. Okay, I'm on the coin and I have an SI7 agent. A Rogue Classic. Hunter kept 1 card. But what kind of Hunter is this? Spring Paw. Ooh, Myracle is a great top deck. Time to Myracle up this board. So that was the kept card. He may or may not have a Crackling Razormaw to go with that. I didn't feel like spending the coin yet, either way. Even though Crackling Razormaw, of course, by buffing this up could be nasty. I'm from Elster Restricting, I am from Finland. Now he's really confused about this Myracle, but I mean, it's a budget deck, I can't put in a Crystallizer. Crystallizers are epics. I would put in a Crystallizer if I could, trust me. But I don't have any Crystallizers here, so I'm using Myracle. Slow Roller, eh? That's interesting. I still think I want to take this opportunity to dagger up. I don't have any reason to let go of my Myracle yet. Diamol, fine. Do I now let go of the Myracle? There's a Vicious Fledgling, but he could have a flanking strike. Hate to give up Vicious Fletchling into a flanking strike. I think I have to give up on the Mecharoo now. Because I also don't want to spend the coin to get an SI7 agent out there. I will rather Blink Fox. Summon your beast that died this turn.
Here we go.
I don't have a ton of beasts, but I do have some. So maybe that can be useful. I know he has the Lynx in hand, so the Lynx can always kill the Joey bot. Buffed or not. I guess there was no flanking strike yet. There can always be a flanking strike next turn. Okay, I'll kill this fellow with the deadly poison, right? I believe so. Is there any reason for me to play a deckhand on this board? I guess I can. Deadly poisoning down the Leok. This one goes face, this one goes face. I mean, there's ways that he can kill the deckhand. I still think I'll sacrifice one of the deckhands here. Just getting a little bit more damage in. So I know he has the Lynx in hand. But what else? Lynx into Dire Frenzy. So that he can kill the tree. That's not awesome. Do I trade in with the Joey bot? Yeah, I think I will trade in with the Joey bot. Do I also get the Crazed Chemist out there and push a lot of damage to his face? I kind of like that. That would mean spending the coin. Maybe I'll just play the Fledgling. I can do Deckhand Chemist kind of stuff later. Can he draw the Can he draw the Lynx immediately? He might. Then he would get a kill on the Fledgling. Or it's one way to get a kill on the Fledgling anyway. But I suppose that's acceptable. Going with the Fledgling. Hitting in with that one. Daggering up again. Put him down to 17. Have a pair of minions on this board. I still do Deckhand Chemist kind of things. Okay, I get a kill command out of him. That's good. That's really good. That candle shot is bad though, because that messes up my chemist plans. That Squire might be good. Do I want to go in with the chemist? No, it can't push immediate face damage yet, so I don't think I do.
This guy's toast.
Here we go.
Just keep pushing with these for now. Put him down to 13. Have 1/1 with Divine Shield, have a 3/3. They don't line up too well against... This is Candle Shot. Well, with Thunder Rhino they might line up a little better, that is. Oh, that's a nice Fungalmancer. So I can do Deckhand Fungalmancer, trade away the Thunder, kill the Hyena, trade away the Thunder Rhino. Do I expect him to be able to clean it up? He has one card that he has had since the beginning. That's a little bit scary. This got to be the Deckhand. I mean, it could be the Chemist too. Because I could use the Deckhand to trade. Then I would have a 5/1 with Divine Shield on the board. I actually like that. I actually like that a lot. Deckhand trades here, I'll trade here. Chemist buffs up this one and then I push. That keeps the Divine Shield up. Sure, if he can find 1 damage to it, then he can use the Candle Shot to finish it off. But still it needs to be damaged 2 times. Which is not a simple task. And there's also the 4/4. And if I can Fungalmancer the 4/4, that's 6 damage plus 2 damage, which is 8 damage. I think this puts him in the biggest pickle that I can. This should be pretty difficult to get out of. Even if he has the 4/4 links, then he needs some other stuff. I mean, 4/4 links and Rexa would be the ideal solution. That would be a full board clear. But I suppose if he had that, he would have spent it already. So it looks to me like he's at a dead end here. And that's the way I like it. We take the game. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the show, please click the like button and subscribe to my channel for more.